Bien, la Chodibes. Buenos días a todos.
Good morning,
Hoy
everyone.
vamos a dar comienzo el 10º Seminario
We are going to
Internacional
begin
Roma.
today. This
La
is
verdad
the
es que
opening ceremony.
jamás habíamos pensado que
Honestly,
un seminario
it was difficult for us to
que
believe
creíamos que era mucho más fácil
that this seminar,
por
we
videoconferencia
thought it
iba a
was
ser tan
going to be
complicado. Bueno,
21,
pues este seminario
27.
va a estar
So
dedicado
this
a
seminar
intentar ver lo que ha sido el
focus
seminario de la Estrategia
on
2020 y qué es lo que va a ser la Estrategia 21-27.
what we have
Y
achieved
por
with
otra
the
parte
strategy
también,
2020 and
este es
see what
el
the future
seminario, y me
brings
da
with the
mucha pena
strategy
decirlo
2027. And
porque
also,
para mí
I'm
era
really sad to
un buen
share this
amigo,
with
era mi
you, because
mentor,
for this
era
seminar,
a quien
he was my friend, he
le
was my
preguntaba todas
mentor.
mis dudas.
I would ask him
Caco
about
Marcel, que
anything.
se nos ha ido.
Caco Marcel is no longer with
Bueno,
us.
él es el que daba peso
And
a todos los seminarios.
he was the
Era el
main
que
the
daba
main role in
prestigio
all
a
our
los seminarios
seminars.
que
He was the
está
most
haciendo la Federación
prestigious
Maranatha.
speaker, really important
Bueno,
for me.
voy a dar paso,
So,
perdón, a Andreu
first of
Iranzo
all, I'm going
Navarro,
to give the floor to
director general
Mr.
de Fondos
Andreu
Europeos de la
Iranzo
Comunidad
Navarro,
Valenciana.
General
Buenos
Director
días,
of
Andreu.
European Funds at the Valencian regional region. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Alfredo. Sorry for your loss. First of all, I would like to say thank you to the Maranatha Federation for inviting me to participate in the opening of this 10th International Roma Seminar with the ESF Plus 21-27. European budgets are created in different many years plans, and we have some operative programs co-funded with the ESF funds for the inclusion policies and also for the regional policies. We have another one which is running till 2023. Although we really try to have a high degree of certification in 2021. So that means that we are nearly in the end of the current programs and we are designing the new ones for 2027. At the beginning of 2020, we began to plan the new programs, but then we had the pandemic, and all the efforts and everything that we did had to be redirected to some other priorities. Last year, on the one hand, we had to bargain for the new financing frame with its policy programs and so on. And also we had the beginning of the COVID pandemic beginning. And so we had to begin with the new instruments, the extraordinary tool, the Next Generation EU, with 750,000 million euros at constant prices for 2018. This will help to the recovery. It's been even called the Marshall Plan. This is something completely new to face huge challenges. Right now, at the European Social Funds Department, we are programming this part of these new funds to support the cohesion policies, which is the aid to the recovery and cohesion on European regions, and it's reinforcing the current programs we have. Within this context and from the cohesion policies, we have been delaying a little bit the programs for 21-27 due to the pandemic, but anyhow, both funds are very, very important for us. Let's remember that cohesion policies are trying to reach the mid-term and the long-term, please excuse me, with an harmonized development of the different regions of the European region. So this is our main goal. Regarding actions to be carried out the European Social Fund, well, many departments in Europe had been fostering the inclusion of Roma people within the context of different plans and strategies, like the pillar of the social European rights and the fight against racism of the strategic framework Roma for equality, inclusion and participation 2020-2030. Regarding the Valencian local regional government, from the Direction of European Funds, we organized in 2018 some days on European funds for inclusion policies of Roma people, with the participation of experts from the Catalonia Roma Association, from the Secretariado Gitano, from the Ministry of Education, from the General Directorate of European Funds. We talked about Erasmus Plus and Citizens for Europe and some other programs. And then we had a section on getting ready and preparation of European projects and real case studies by some Roma associations of Valencia and Maranatha Federation. And we want as well this year to have a similar event. Please excuse me because I had a meeting at 10 and I won't be able to stay at your seminar, but I try to follow your presentations, if not directly, but soon. But it's important for me, especially for the implications and impact on the European Social Fund. Thank you and congratulations on your initiative. Hope you have a very fruitful.
Muchísimas gracias, Andreu, por
Thank you very
tu
much,
tiempo.
Andreu, for your time.
Que tu agenda ya la tenías,
we were aware that we were very busy today, but you found some time for us, and we really appreciate that.
Vamos a dar paso
now,
a Teresa Epalza,
we'll give the floor to Teresa Epalza from the European Social Fund Directorate General for Employment, Social Affairs and Inclusion. Good morning, Alfredo. Good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you to the Federation Maranatha, especially to its president, José Alfredo, for inviting the European Commission to take part in this 10th International Roma Seminar. It's the first time that I have the pleasure to participate, and thank you, and I'm really looking forward to it, because from the General Directorate of Employment, Social Policy, Health and Consumer Affairs of the European Social Fund, so I work with them, and it is such a great opportunity to participate in this seminar. I also wanted to say that we will have the connection of participants from several member states of the European Union, and I think this is really positive to see the points of view from different member states, and that we are all connected here with the same goal, which means to make another step into the social inclusion of Roma population. Today and tomorrow's seminar, it's in a key moment from the point of view of policies and from the point of view of funds. This is a very important moment because we are thinking about national and regional strategies and programs that will have to do with all the inclusion, equality, and participation in society of Roma people. As you well know, last 15 March, last week, the Council of Europe adopted its resolution for the equality, inclusions, and development of Roma people. And this is part of the strategic framework that Andreu was mentioning before, and proves the commitment of the member states to face the different challenges that Roma people in Europe are facing every day. Furthermore, this recommendation includes some specific measures that can help to improve the condition of the Roma population, not only through equality, but also with more cooperation and participation of the different stakeholders involved in the inclusion of Roma people. I will give you more details during my presentation later on this recommendation. And also I will give you the elements of the political framework that will include all the policies for the inclusion of Roma people. But there's something which I would like to highlight, and it is the main role of the European Social Plus funds in the development of those strategies. Today, it's also a key moment because if we think about the Social European Fund, I would like to remind you that the Commission had its proposal for a regulation on 2018, but it needed some amendments, and in 2020, because we had to take into account the new challenges we are facing from the pandemic. Last 28th of January, at least the Council, Parliament and the Commission reached an agreement on this regulation. So it means that once they become into force, approximately around the 1st of July, all the member states will be able to send us their proposal for the Social European Fund for the programming 2021-2027. As you might be aware, the European Plus Fund is the main fund to invest in people for the European Union, and the agreement in January allows us to concentrate resources in the areas that we have identified as the ones that need the aid most, those that need specific attention. For instance, to ease youth employment, investments and resources for social inclusion of people with difficulties, and also to reduce poverty. But, well, I will give you more details on all those elements, on all these requirements that have to be fulfilled for the European Social Funds program. What I would like to highlight is that both for national strategies and for all the programs we are designing now in order to fund these strategies, is fundamental that all the stakeholders for Roma people have to work and to cooperate constantly. We need a constant exchange of ideas, of knowledge, not only during the consultation process, but also during the design, implementation, and monitoring of those programs. So we need those stakeholders to participate in the following up of all these programs. The cooperation has to be reflected both in the preparation of the national strategies which are being designed right now, as in the programs of the European Social Fund Plus, but in some others as well, because it's the only way we can get effective and impactful programs. More or less, this is a summary of the main points of my presentation for this session. I'll be very glad to answer any questions and to give you more details. Thank you very much.
Muchísimas gracias, Teresa.
Rubén Sancho Martinez to take the floor, but I would like to say that we can create this seminar thanks to the funds of the Valencian local regional governments, but also to the Department of Equality and Social Inclusion Policies, and to Culture and Sport Department as well. And I want to say thank you to our sponsors, because they are funding us. we can do this thanks to them. Without further ado, I'm going to give the floor to Rubén Sancho Martinez, Regional Secretary for Equality and Diversity. Good morning everyone. First of all, I would like to say hello in the name, on behalf of the Vice President of Mónica Oltra, because unfortunately she was very busy today and she cannot be here with us. For me, it's a pleasure to share with you all this opening ceremony of the 10th International Roma Seminar organized by the Maranatha Federation with such a plural and outstanding international panel of speakers and an interesting program to learn about the needs and priorities of Roma population in the different European territories, as well as to highlight the participation, representativeness, and contribution of the Roma people in the development of public policies and strategies. I'm convinced that it will be a very fruitful seminar in which many proposals for the European Social Fund Plus 21-27 strategy will be addressed. The Vice Presidents and Regional Ministry for Equality and Inclusive Policies would like to take this opportunity to share with the people from other countries that don't know about the work we carry out with the Roma people. We would like to share that our commitment to the fight against anti-Gypsyism, discrimination and intolerance against the Roma people, and we assume our responsibility in this fight through the policies, measures, and actions that we have been developing for a while now together with you to guarantee rights, favor your active participation in all spaces and spheres of society, as well as in the elaboration of public policies at regional level to reduce the inequality that affects Roma people in too many. Okay, thank you. An example of these tasks we are doing with the Roma representatives is the Valencian strategy for Roma equality and inclusion of Roma people 2018-2023, which seeks to improve the lives of Roma people and move towards an intercultural society in which anti-Gypsyism is eradicated. The strategy was unanimously approved on the 3rd of April 2018 in the Joint Commission for Development, and we have public administrations, regional, local and municipal representations, university Roma organization, and well-known Roma people experts. After an open participatory process and many debates in which we have a mutual recognition between administration, entities and professionals was generated a document centered on the needs of Roma people. The Valencian strategy had two main axes. First one, social inclusion, universal access to public services with four strategic lines: education and culture, health, employment and trade, and housing. And a second axis on equal treatment and non-discrimination with two strategic lines: fighting anti-Gypsyism and promoting recognition and visibility, and another one on participation. It has also two transversal lines to be reflected in each strategic line, which had to do with gender equality and childhood and adolescence. In total, 26 objectives, 86 actions, and 225 interventions. And we hope that they will bear fruit on the goal of improving inclusion and livelihood of Roma people. On the other hand, Decree 5/2019, created by the Consell Valencià of Poble Gitano, the Valencian Council of the Roma people. And then will take place on the 7th of April. Its constitution, they, as you well know, that we have been celebrating from our regional ministry together with you. Finally, I would also like to highlight a project which is the joint action with the third sector, which is the program Compania, a project aimed specifically at Roma children and adolescents, their social and family environment, to improve their socio-educational situation, and which aims to help them graduate from the compulsory secondary education, and even, and it has an extension to encourage them to continue after the compulsory studies to higher education. This is a project that we also plan to reinforce with more staff, and we want as well to develop new programs of this Compania program to cover a greater number of realities and people. To conclude, on behalf of the Vice President and Councillor for Equality and Inclusive Policies, I would like to express our desire to continue to maintain a sincere and close collaboration with you, with Roma people, in order to achieve a more inclusive society in which all people have a place, with equal rights and opportunities, in which we can appreciate plurality and diversity as something positive from which we can all learn. Thank you very much. I wish you a very fruitful seminar to you all. Thank you. Thank you, Rubén, for your words. We really know that there is a coordination with Roma people and the Department for Equality and Inclusive Policies. Our door is open. We have felt that they are listening to us, and we really appreciate that. So now I will give the floor to Normunds, the president of the International Romani Union. I can't see him right now. There we are. Laccio di Bes.
Певен бахтали конференцияки организатори та делегати. Сумла шалов терактирал да девятан документа сар иру президенту. Харо манга иси поило, кена исис манга шансов теявал пекада КДП. Авдев би бахтали девеса полумня. Не иси бут врама да девес. Te secluas variso важно, te tergiuvas, te nauchtas, te podikхас попеста, te peschi rebuchat. Te naisaras devles, te diamenge само важно, педа девес со стипе. Между тито менге осунто дел, за орбахто менге, те со стипен. И лачи конференция ки ребути, на исто менге.
Pues nos acaba de desear que tengamos un buen encuentro.
His wish
como presidente de la Unión Romaní,
as a very fruitful and good meeting. Let's hope that everything will go well. Let's thank God as well and see that we can take advantage of this time we are going to enjoy here in order to improve the situation of the issues we might have had. So, without further ado, I know that it's been an effort for you to be here with us today. Thank you very much for your time from the Federation Maranatha. Thank you so much. See you in a moment. Bye. Thank you.